dark room. The silence is heavy. The cold glow of your cell phone screen hits you in the face at 2 in the morning. On the screen, an imported supercar and perfect women parade. The media shoves this impossible dream down poor people's throats on fucking TV every single day. You look at your life and feel disgusted. You were blinded by a lie dressed up as a trophy. The big villain here is not Ferrari or the women on screen. The suspect is your own ego, manipulated by a gigantic machine that makes billions, selling the false promise that you need to show off to be a man. Social pressure is an overwhelming monster, and you're facing this shit alone, locked in your room. The danger is real. This cursed dependence on other people's approval is melting your mental health and turning you into an addict of validation from people who don't even know you exist. You accept breaking yourself completely, sacrificing your peace and your money just to support a ghost. It's lack disguised as pride, digging its own psychological grave. If you stay until the end, you will discover how your weakness was mapped by the system to make you fuck yourself in silence. Take a good look at the Dodge prancing on the clean hood. This split is not real. It's the fantasy that will bankrupt you. This video is not about cars. It's about your life. Subscribe to the channel if you have the stomach for the raw truth. If you want a comfortable lie, get out now, you piece of shit. And if you wake up tomorrow and finally realize that you're a son of a bitch and that fucking reality hits you in the ass every day, no one cares about your effort. Fuck you. The atmosphere outside is cold, the sky is gray and crushes the tops of the buildings, and the wet asphalt only reflects the tiredness of your eyes. You go into the grind knowing it's just another replaceable cog. The physical sensation of failure is not an abstract concept. It weighs in the middle of your chest like a block of cast iron. Your hands shake slightly on the steering wheel. Your stomach burns with the bad coffee you drank in a hurry. And the lump in your throat tightens every time you remember the bills accumulated on the table at home. It's the icy shock of understanding that you are draining your health to pursue a standard that was never designed for someone like you to achieve. The world continues to spin, indifferent to your existence and your daily exhaustion. The alarm clock rings at 6 in the morning, like a factory siren indicating the start of your shift at the gearbox. Your boss has already put his penis on the table and asked for the ruler to start the day. You jump out of bed with your body heavy, your eyes burning from interrupted sleep, and that familiar feeling that the day already begins with you owing something to the world. The city's traffic is a sea of gray metal and toxic smoke. This is exactly where the parallel begins. You turn on the key, but the old car is not just your means of transportation. That tired engine is your own fucking mind. Day after day, you push your machine to its absolute limit. The traffic doesn't move. The boss charges. The bills pile up, and you feel your mental engine heating up, the temperature rising straight to the red zone on the dashboard. Chronic anxiety materializes in the form of a physical tightness in your chest, an acidic burn in your stomach, and a silent despair that you swallow hard to avoid crying in front of others. You're frying your brain cells and spending your damn youth in a dark cubicle, selling your health for a miserable salary that barely covers your rent and dinner. While you are in traffic, the elite pass by you in armored German cars with tinted windows up without even knowing that you exist. They don't see your exhaustion, and the media keeps rubbing it in your face that the blame for your failure is solely yours because you didn't work while they slept. It's a damned hypocrisy of appearances. Your mind begins to fail in the face of this invisible social rejection, generating a clinical emotional breakdown where you feel like a ghost chasing a bone. You are grinding your own body to support the top of a pyramid that hates you. But the physics of life are exact, and reality takes no exception. No engine can run in the red zone forever without exploding the cylinder head. And the worst thing is when you decide to waste the little oil you have left trying to prove that your old metal can still beat their game. On the internet, the sleeper costume is perfect. You watch a fucking video of a Dodge Charger completely destroyed on the outside, but with a 1,000 horsepower engine lifting the front wheels and swallowing a Ferrari on the drag strip. Your blood boils. The ego of the common man feeds on that image as if it were divine revenge, living proof that the guy at the bottom, getting his hands dirty and sweaty, can humiliate the arrogant elite. It is the opiate of the modern worker. But the cell phone screen doesn't show you the invoice for that game. The cold, clinical reality of FA. This is a punch in the teeth. For that block of old iron to become the monster on the cover of a video, more than $100,000 worth of imported parts, cutting-edge engineering, and dozens of engines were buried in the process. In other words, for the common man to have the chance to beat the rich on the track, he needs to spend money he doesn't have. It's a mathematical trap. Thus, Guy falls into the illusion of building an impossible project, maxes out his cards, gets into debt with a bank, and turns his own dream into a financial nightmare that drags his life into the mud. Your mind fails you because of your addiction to validation. You spend your weekends locked in the garage, stressed out, neglecting your real wife, and destroying your present to try to prove a point to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Silent despair hits you hard when you realize that the machine is still broken in the workshop and your bank account is empty. You didn't beat the system. You just let your damn pride ruin your future. You paid the highest price to support the lie of who you thought you could be. And the collapse gets worse when you try to put on this junkyard costume to compete against the cold technology of those who were born at the top, thinking that your old size still scares someone. You cling to the old symbols of strength because they are the only thing that makes you feel powerful. In his mind, the heavy growl of a classic original 8-cylinder engine is the height of masculinity, pure metal, and nostalgia for a time when things made sense. You look at that block of iron in your garage with pride, thinking you have a legend on your hands. But modernity is a cold, calculating monster and completely indifferent to your emotional attachment. Real-life asphalt doesn't care about your nostalgia. He wants to know raw data. The clinical reality of the common man's collapse happens when he accepts the split in the track of life. On its side, it has a modern 3-cylinder engine, light, silent, and equipped with a factory turbine. On paper, it looks like a joke. In practice, modern technology effortlessly swallows your old pride and leaves you behind in the dust. If you are an ignorant person driven by pure ego, you go all the way to try to prove that your past still wins over their present. The result of this misfortune? The engine knocks, the connecting rod flies off the block. You embarrass yourself and fall straight into financial shit. Your mind goes into silent despair because you have been deceived by appearances. You thought the size and noise of the past were enough to compete in a game that changed the rules while you slept. The system has calibrated you to be an idiot who accepts fighting for validation on the street to feed a pride that doesn't pay an electricity bill. You destroy your own machine trying to defeat a technology that was designed to humiliate you. You need to wake up and understand that 8 old and tired cylinders run less than 3 modern ones. Accepting this is not being weak, is to be aware. And this blindness of wanting to fight for what you can't win doesn't just destroy your pocket in the workshop. It makes you look at what really matters and ignore who is in the passenger seat holding your hand. Addiction to validation blinds the common man in a destructive way. Just as you alienate yourself by desiring the supercar you saw on your screen, you spend your days mesmerized, drooling over the supercar women that the algorithm throws into your Instagram feed. Models with bodies sculpted by surgery and faces full of digital filters, tailor-made to capture your attention and capitalize on your needs. You spend hours of your night feeding a plastic fantasy in your head, craving validation you'll never get from someone who doesn't even know you exist. And that's when the psychological collapse takes hold. You start to look at your real life with contempt. Anxiety and tightness in your chest hit hard when you wake up from this trance and look to the side. There, in bed, in the simplicity of real life, is your real partner. A real woman who has flaws, who is tiring, but who is with you in the mud of everyday life, sharing the weight of the bills and holding your own in the real world. But your ego, corrupted by the media's impossible standards, makes you neglect this woman. You become cold, distant, demanding cell phone screen perfection from her and destroying your relationship because you prefer to chase the ghost of a lie. It is modern hypocrisy at its purest and cruelest. Your mind fails in the face of the rejection of an ordinary life, and you throw in the trash, the only solid thing you have left to try to sustain a TV commercial status. You become a man alone, frustrated, locked in a small room, just because you didn't have the maturity to value the ground you walk on. The system wants exactly this, that you despise your reality to remain a consuming slave, breaking your emotional engine for trophies of wind. If you don't pull the brakes on this despair now, you'll end up reaping the abandonment you sowed, finding out the hard way what happens when the common man decides to turn his back on his own reality. The only way out of this hellish cycle is the definitive shock of lucidity. You need to accept being an ordinary man, but an intelligent ordinary man. Being smart means understanding that the track you are racing on was designed by the system for you to break your engine. The top of the pyramid wants you to spend every drop of your sweat and every penny of your measly salary trying to achieve their supercar or the internet's plastic validation. When you understand that this game is a fraud, your mind stops failing in the face of rejection. The anxiety subsides when you finally decide to say fuck you to appearances, pulling the handbrake and leaving. This track of illusions is not a sign of cowardice or giving up. It is the greatest act of rebellion and maturity that a man can have today. The intelligent common man is invincible because he can no longer be manipulated by consumer marketing or digital poverty. You turn off your pussy from the TV screen and cell phone and clean the dust in your own garage. You start to look at your old car, your small room, or your real partner with pride and awareness, knowing exactly the price and value of each thing that is truly yours. You stop bleeding your pocket and your health for those who don't give a damn about your existence. Your real victory is not overtaking the Ferrari on the asphalt or having 1 million followers cheering you in the dark. Your victory is to keep your engine running in peace, preserving your sanity and carrying tooth and nail for the ground you have truly conquered. It is understanding that real man's happiness lies in the awareness of what he has and what he needs to do to protect his own reality. When you kill your ego and take control of your own machine, the system loses power over you. Now the naked truth is out in front of you and the cards are on the table. The only thing left to know is if you're going to keep accelerating towards the abyss, or if you're going to have the courage to turn off this lie before your engine explodes for good. The verdict is cold and does not have a happy ending like a TV commercial. The screen will go black. The silence in your room will return, and no one will come to save you from mediocrity. If you close this video and continue accepting the invisible cracks that the system designed for you to lose, it is solely your fault. Stop being a sucker who bleeds his own life to pay for a plastic status. Clean your fucking garage, hug the real woman who holds your bar, and take care of your engine before it explodes for good. Be common, but be smart. Time is running out, and reality does not forgive those who live in fantasy. Cord.